What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny. In the last episode, we finished off the mission, the Black Garden, effectively ending the vanilla Destiny storyline. And as a result, we were awarded this rifle, the Stranger's Rifle, which is, while it is a legendary rifle, it might as well be basically an exotic. It's kind of unique. It's kind of interesting. It actually has a unique perk known as Rewind, where missing a shot has a chance to return ammo to the magazine, and it actually has a very high chance of doing so. It also has full auto, as well as, well, just a very good set of perks. However, it's only 110 attack. Now, I would need another 10 legendary marks if I wanted to bump it up more to around like 160-ish and actually make it a lot more usable. So, unfortunately, it's still going to be relegated to this slot for a little bit. However, after I do this recording session, I probably shouldn't be recording this game until the next day. And then I will be able to complete another public event, and as a result, should get enough legendary marks to bring this up to speed. Murmur, I think, is going to get left in the dust. As much as I love Murmur, I think we can make do with other special weapons in the meantime. So, doing pretty good on light so far. We're at 137. I'm actually incredibly close to getting a rank up on Vanguard reputation for the first time. All sorts of good things. So, let us jump into the interlude missions between the vanilla Destiny storyline as well and the Taken King storyline. So there's actually quite a few. First of all, we have the interlude known as the Bringer of War, which is going to pit us up against the Cabal a bit more. So we're going to be starting today by jumping into the Buried City mission.
Seems like the Cryptarchs are really curious about this region of Mars.
For years, the Cryptarchs have been waiting to break through the exclusion zone and find what's left in that buried city. They say Freehold birthed technological wonders. We cannot let the Cabal destroy it.
The Cabal
right.
leveled that entire city. If they haven't brought it down yet, they must have found something valuable. We should track them, see what they're after.
We are going to do just that in this mission. Alright, so there's actually quite a few interlude storylines. There's this one. There is another one involving the Vex. We are going to basically just give them another crushing blow, as well as the House of Wolves DLC that we have still not yet touched, which was the other DLC that followed after the completion of the vanilla Destiny storyline. Now, the House of Wolves DLC was criticized because it did not have a raid, and instead had a substitute event or game mode known as Prison of Elders, and we'll get into that at a later point in time. Right now, we're still basically on vanilla storylines at the moment. I do want to kill this Major because it's actually part of a bounty. There we go. Alright. So I actually have a little bit of lore for this one. So the thing about Mars, about all of these facilities that we're heading into that are now buried in the sand, kind of lost and forgotten, is the fact that Mars was actually kind of the center of technological development during the Golden Age. This is where basically all of the most brilliant minds and scientists went to develop amazing technologies during the Golden Age.
Have a recon team stationed at the top of the other skyscraper. They must have found something interesting.
And in fact, this Clovis Bray, this skyscraper right here, is one of those huge centers of technology, and we're going to be heading into that in this video. Clovis Bray is actually where the Exos were created. Now, we haven't really talked about the Exos much, but the Exos are human subconsciouses basically implanted into robot bodies, android bodies, whatever you want to call them.
AI development, research on the Traveler. This place could be a gold mine.
And that's what he means by AI development. That's where the Exos were created. Now, let's talk about the Exos for a second. So in fact, every single Exo you see in this game was developed before the Golden Age. Now, whether or not they have memories of before the Golden Age is another story. In fact, you've noticed that a lot of Exos have numbers in their name, such as Cade 6, for instance, or Banshee. I actually forget his. Is it Banshee 11 or something like that? The gunsmith. That mind wipe. That has to do with mind wipes. That number. That's the number of times their mind has been completely wiped and reset for one reason or another. So Cade has had his mind wiped 6 times. Banshee has had his mind wiped however many times his number indicates. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. So that is true for all Exos. And so, like I said, the first edition of the Exo was pre-war. Now, a lot of these are pre-Golden Age, I guess I should say. So I guess the thing about the Exos, though, is many of them, if not all of them, were made Exos for a very good reason, either because they knew valuable information or something like that, but more likely because they were criminals. And it was kind of them being given an option. It was either they could be punished severely or they could be made into Exos and have their minds wiped and then give another chance at life, which is what most of them ended up accepting. So that is how a lot of Exos were created, and in doing so, they were actually, as you know, subsequent mind wipes happened, they were kind of given the inextricable desire to be guardians, to be protectors of the traveler, which is why almost every single one of the Exos you see is a guardian. Of course, that's not entirely and inherently 100% true, but it is generally the case. Awoken and humans aren't always guardians, but Exos usually are. Obviously, the Stranger is an exception to that, and there are other ones. There are Exos in the city and whatnot that are not guardians, but for the most part, most of them are as a result. So, obviously, not all Exo minds were battle-hardened at one point. They're not all soldiers, in a sense. In fact, some Exos were, in fact, scientists who wanted to preserve their knowledge for the future, even during the Golden Age, during the collapse and whatnot. So, those were created here at Clovis Bray, as well as all other sorts of technologies. The weapons were created here as well. This was one of the major institutes for technology during the Golden Age. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. But the question is, what have the Cabal dug up here that is so interesting to them, especially with the fact that they've kind of never really taken an interest in science. They're kind of all about brute forcing it. They're not really all interested in knowledge unless the Scions are the ones that have found something valuable and have basically been like, hey, we need to go after this to help further our efforts in the war. Which is rare, but it does happen. In fact, we will get a strike about that in this very quest line of sorts. So let's take all of these legionaries out. Oh, hi there. Pardon me. You mind if I just melee you in the face? Thank you. Alright. Kill all of these things. There we go. And here we go. Alright, a lot more enemies going to be trickling out now that we've basically killed everything in the room. Keep coming. Come on. There you go. Good job. Lots of Scions are going to be in this mission in particular because, well, they're really the ones responsible for the digging. If it's technological in some fashion, form or another, you're gonna see Scions a part of it. They're not soldiers so much as they are like scouts and scientists. But obviously they do have means of defending themselves. Oh, hi there. Oh, we got a Brachus, huh? Okay, cool. This will be fun. There we go. Do some damage. Goodbye. Ooh, nice try, though. That was very close. He almost got that melee on me. Good stuff. All right, there's what? One left? Hi.
This machine, it's still active. Let me analyze it.
Have at it. Please. Thank you. Now, what is this tech?
This AI once connected to the war mind of Mars.
Do you hear that? Rasputin.
Rasputin's controlling it. I can't get in, and neither could the Cabal. He's everywhere now.
It seems that with the death of all of the other war minds, Rasputin, being the self-learning AI he is, decided that it was time to assimilate the rest of them and take over. So every other war mind It's basically just Rasputin. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Destiny. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much. In the next episode, I'm actually going to be heading into some strikes. Thank you all so very much, and I'll see you all in the next one.